Attention students, I want you all to listen and look carefully on our field trip today. Come this way.
Mr. Griff, what is this place?
This is a presidential museum. We are going to learn about the presidents of the United States.
Oh, that's even Benjamin Franklin?
Benjamin Franklin was not one of the presidents.
How about Elvis? Wasn't he from the way back then?
This morning, we're going to learn about the first 16 presidents. I can see we have a lot to learn.
Yeah, I can never get those old guys straight. Me either. They all look the same. Wait, no.
Washington's the first one, I'm pretty sure. After that I have no clue. Tyler or Taylor, Pierce or Apple, James Buchanan, who are you? I remember Lincoln, the rest are good. Never been that good with names. Christy never fellows, Washington's first one, I'm pretty sure. After that I have no clue. James Buchanan, who are you? I remember never been that good with names.
Welcome, Mr. Griffin and students, to the Presidential Museum. My name is Miss Dosen, and I'll be your guide. I understand we only have half an hour today, so I recommend we tour the South Wing. This section contains displays for the first 16 presidents.
Ooh, look at those teeth.
Those are some of the false teeth used by George Washington. Ah, and here comes President Washington now.
How would you do that?
I have no idea. It just happens.
Good morning. Let me introduce you to my special envoy, John Jay, and my Secretary of War, Henry Knox.
Our pleasure.
I have no idea what a special envoy is, but the cool thing about being president is you can appoint them anytime you like.
Class, pay attention. This is George Washington, father of our country. Excuse me, Mr. President. I've always wondered, in the Revolutionary War, how did you manage to get your men through the terrible winter at Valley Forge?
One word, Mr. Griffin. S'mores.
S'mores?
Sure. While the redcoats were trying to survive on boiled mutton, my men were toasting marshmallows over the campfire.
They were delicious. Wonders for our morale.
Well, as you can see, they were tough on our teeth.
I told you we should have flossed. Did you hear that, class? Let that be a lesson to you.
Mr. Washington was unanimously elected our first president in 1789. Without his firm guidance, it's doubtful our new country would have survived.
Oh, you exaggerate.
Simply marvelous. Absolutely. You're first in war, first in peace, and first in the hearts of your countrymen. What a cool guy! That's an understatement, young lady. George, in my opinion, was the best man for love.
You set the precedent for president. You set the tone for all to come. How to veto, what to sign. How to keep the beat in line. When to argue, when to fight. Wear a wig just right.
I did look pretty good, didn't I?
You set the precedent for president. You set the tone for all to come. How to nuance in finesse and inaugural address. You're the tyrant and it's tough. And so 2 terms are enough.
Just say no to the permanence of my excess. Don't make treaties that can lead you into war. Just say yes to politic neutrality. And then settle back and have another tour. You set the precedent for president. You set the tone for all to come. How to veto, what to sign. How to keep the beef in line. When to bark, when to fight. How to wear a wig just right. How to nuance and finesse. And inaugural address. The job's tiring and it's tough. And so 2 terms are enough. You set the precedent for president.
Now, over here, we have the 2nd and 6th presidents, the Addams family.
Hey, I know that show. It's on Nick at Night. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. 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 Da-da-da.
And don't even think about those Uncle Fester jokes.
Okay. Let's see if we can conjure up John Adams and his son, John Quincy Adams.
Was 2. Was not. Was 2. Was not.
Honestly, those 2 are going to drive me nuts.
Hello, Abigail. Are they at it again?
As always.
Was 2. Was not.
John Quincy, you get in here right now! And stop that bickering. 2 presidents acting like children. You should be ashamed of yourselves. My husband and son are forever arguing.
About who's the best president?
No, about who was least popular.
Started it. No.
He said he was less liked than I was. Even though I was Washington's vice president, I
He helped me draft the Declaration of Independence. We got to be good friends after. Well, after I whipped him in that presidential election.
He seems a little bitter.
Oh, he's just being high-strung, New Englander, you know, remarkably sensible for a Harvard boy.
Jefferson, is that you?
Alexander Hamilton, my old Federalist nemesis. How have you been?
Not bad, not bad. I've slowed down a bit since that Aaron birthday. Aaron birthday? Okay. Shh. Keep your voice down. You know, Mr. Jefferson, you're good. Why? Aaron Burr was the third vice president serving under Thomas Jefferson. First on his rival, Alexander Hamilton, during the duel, and the rest is history.
Well, we've all slowed a bit. Everything I did after that Louisiana purchase seemed a bit anticlimactic, but those party politics we started, now that has really taken off.
Excuse me, did you say you started the political parties?
Pretty much. I was the Secretary of Treasury under Washington and the leading figure in the Federalist Party. We believed in a powerful central government, a national debt, strong central bank, support for industry, and rule by the best people.
But my Jeffersonian politics, I belong to what is called the Democratic Republicans, favored states' rights, agriculture, and the extension of democracy.
George Washington warned against forming political factions. Oh, none of us could have foreseen the incredible development of the two-party system.
The framers of the Constitution all hope to get along. The framers thought life was perfect, but this they got wrong. They thought that we would work together, rule in harmony. But really, they're just one item on which we can't agree. You are the bad guys, we are the good guys. The world's split in two. We're gonna party, and make the worst one lose. We're gonna party and make the worst one lose. We need a government power, and which should be increased. The government does I'm certain that governs us the least. Let's make our policies for business. The farmer is our man. We like the French, we love the British. It's you I cannot stand. You are the bad guys, we are the good guys. The world's split in two. We're gonna party, come on party, and make the worst one lose. We're gonna party, make the worst one lose. Our two parties have just one thing we concur. Our two parties know that we don't need a third. You are the bad guys, we are the good guys. The world's split in two. We're gonna party, come on party, and make the worst one lose. We're gonna party and make the worst one lose. We're gonna party and make the worst one lose.
Come along, students. Let's take a look at the fourth president now. It says here that he was only 5'4", but a giant amongst the other founding fathers. He was a signer of the Constitution and an advocate of the Bill of Rights. Any guesses?
That's a tricky one, Mr. Griff. Could you give us a hint?
That
That would be my husband, James.
Dolly Madison, it's so good to see you again.
This is such an honor. Students, Mrs. Madison saved the Declaration of Independence, the National Seal, and a portrait of George Washington from the White House just before it was burned by the British in the War of 1812.
Of course it wasn't called the White House then. It got that nickname from the white paint they put on the smoke-damaged walls. I also saved our pet parrot, such a precocious bird. It used to recite the most remarkable limericks.
Oh, I just love the way the James boys pose for their pictures.
Mr. President, this might take a second.
Who are these girls?
Oh, them? They're the presidential groupies, and they have a crush on my husband, and James Monroe.
They just radiate smarts. Two presidents with the same name? They're just perfect. Let's do another one shaking hands. Perfect.
Oh, look, it's our groupies again. I love to be in the tree.
They're so presidential. James Monroe, the 5th president, was even more popular than James Madison. He ushered in what has been called the era of good feelings. Really good feelings.
I can't put my finger on it. James Monroe looks vaguely familiar. Hey, maybe we're related.
There is no way, Lydia. You two don't look anything alike. Nice try.
When he makes treaties, I could die. Chills and thrills to see the
girls. I'm glad you chased off John Quincy Adams. Just a sore loser. We've had enough of those privileged folks from Virginia and up north running the country. It's time we had someone who fought for the shopkeepers, farmers, and pioneers. The great can protect themselves, but the poor and humble require the arm and shield of the law.
Brilliant! Wonderful!
And don't forget the hair, girls.
Sensational! Such lovely locks. I made some
Imagine it. An orphan from the Carolinas, a fighting man from Tennessee, President of the United States. Is this a great country or what?